Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Breaking news. Gaza humanitarian crisis unfolds amidst Israeli response. Imperiled. A plea emerged for the swift reopening of Egypt's Rafah border crossing with Gaza, a lifeline of medical supplies and humanitarian aid awaiting delivery. Alas, a resolution had yet to be reached as the crossing lay dormant, struck silent by Israeli airstrikes. In these uncertain times, as the world watched with bated breath, the tumultuous waves of conflict swirled, leaving no shore untouched by their relentless fury. In the turbulent landscape of the Middle East, where the clash of geopolitical interests and long-standing animosities have shaped the destiny of nations, the saga of conflict and confrontation persists. The latest chapter in this enduring narrative unfolds along the contentious border between Lebanon and Israel, a volatile strip of land where tensions perpetually simmer, threatening to erupt into a conflagration of devastating proportions. On this somber Sunday, the echoes of violence reverberated across the Lebanese-Israeli border as the militant Hezbollah group, entrenched within Lebanon's territory, unleashed a barrage of rockets towards Israeli soil. In response, the Israeli military, long accustomed to the perils of this troubled border, retaliated with shelling, escalating a tit-for-tat exchange of firepower that sent shockwaves through the region. Amidst this tumultuous backdrop, the Israeli army reported a shooting incident at one of its border posts, further intensifying the conflict. The grim toll of this escalation included the loss of life, with at least one person falling victim to the violence on the Israeli side, while several others were left wounded on both sides of the border, casualties of a conflict fueled by historical grievances and geopolitical rivalries. In the midst of this chaotic tableau, the Iran-backed Hezbollah, a formidable force in the region and a staunch adversary of Israel, issued a statement to assert its role in the escalating hostilities. Hezbollah's spokesperson, Rana Sahili, conveyed that these border skirmishes, though marked by heightened intensity, should not be construed as an indication of the group's full-scale entry into the ongoing Hamas-Israel war. Rather, Sahili characterized the current clashes as mere skirmishes, designed to serve as a stark warning to the Israeli establishment. Israel, in response, remained steadfast in its posture with rear ADM. Daniel Hagari, the Israeli army spokesperson, emphasizing that irrespective of the origin of the fire across the northern border, Lebanon bore the responsibility for any incursions into Israeli territory. The Israeli military also initiated an investigation into the incident that claimed the life of Reuters videographer Issam Abdallah, underscoring the complexities and uncertainties of this enduring conflict. Meanwhile, the voice of Pope Francis resonated across the globe as the spiritual leader of the Catholic Church issued a fervent appeal for the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas, the militant rulers of the Gaza Strip. In a poignant call, Pope Francis urged the establishment of humanitarian corridors to alleviate the suffering of the besieged population in Gaza, emphasizing the sanctity of civilian lives and the imperative of upholding humanitarian principles in times of conflict. Across the Mediterranean in Morocco's capital, Rabat, thousands took to the streets in a massive rally, expressing solidarity with the Palestinian cause and vehemently denouncing Israel's actions in its ongoing war with Hamas. The demonstration not only bore witness to the fervor of Palestinian support, but also marked a significant moment for the banned Islamist movement Al-Adl wa Isain, which openly aligned itself with Hamas, even as the Moroccan government condemned the violence. The protests showcased the deep emotions stirred by the conflict, while the suspension of flights between Casablanca and Tel Aviv underscored the regional implications of the crisis. In the beleaguered Israeli city of Sderot, located perilously close to the Gaza border, residents sought refuge from the relentless rocket barrages emanating from the Gaza Strip. Faced with the incessant threat of rocket attacks and the psychological trauma it inflicts on children, a state-sponsored program facilitated the evacuation of thousands of residents to hotels in safer areas. Mayor Alon Davidi acknowledged the city's vulnerability, stating that there was no reason for residents to return as Sderot remained on the front line of the conflict. The reverberations of this escalating conflict extended beyond the immediate theater of war, as Germany issued a comprehensive travel warning for Israel, the Palestinian territories, and Lebanon. This stark advisory signaled a significant escalation in the German government's stance, reflecting the intensifying violence in the region and its impact on international perceptions of safety and security. Yet, amid the geopolitical posturing and the intensifying violence, the most heart-wrenching consequences of the conflict manifested in Gaza's besieged hospitals. In Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis, Gaza's second-largest medical facility, the critical care units were overwhelmed with wounded patients, a large proportion of whom were young children. Dr. Mohammed Kandil, a consultant at the hospital, grimly described the dire situation, warning that fuel reserves were dwindling, placing the lives of patients dependent on life-saving equipment at grave risk. The closure of borders and the lack of medical aid from outside compounded the crisis, leaving the Gaza health system teetering on the brink of collapse. Further north, in the Kamal Alwan Hospital, the head of pediatrics, Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, made a poignant declaration. Despite Israeli orders to evacuate the hospital, he and his colleagues chose to remain, knowing that relocating patients, including newborns in critical condition, would expose them to mortal danger. It was a testament to the grim choices forced upon the medical community in Gaza, where survival often hinges on the ability to endure the unendurable. As the conflict continued to escalate, the specter of regional entanglement loomed large. Hezbollah's involvement on the northern border raised concerns that the war could spill over into a broader regional conflagration, exacerbating an already volatile situation. The international community watched with bated breath, hoping for diplomatic solutions to prevail over the destructive forces of war. In the heart of Riyadh, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken engaged in a high-stakes meeting with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, striving to prevent the Israel-Hamas war from metastasizing into a wider regional crisis. Their discussions, conducted behind closed doors, bore the weight of profound consequences as the Israeli military hinted at an impending ground invasion of Gaza, an action that could have catastrophic repercussions for Palestinian civilians. The toll of this relentless conflict continued to mount, with Palestinian casualties surpassing 2,300, marking this as the deadliest of the 5 Gaza wars for Palestinians. The grim statistics eclipsed even the 2014 war, underscoring the scale of the tragedy unfolding in Gaza. For Israelis as well, this conflict exacted a heavy toll, ranking as the deadliest since the 1973 war with Egypt and Syria, a stark reminder of the enduring cycle of violence in the region. Amidst the darkness of war, voices of solidarity echoed from the world's most populous Muslim-majority country, Indonesia, where thousands rallied to support Palestinians and call for an end to the Israel-Hamas war. The global Muslim community joined hands in collective prayer for an end to the bloodshed and suffering, a poignant reminder that the quest for peace and justice knows no borders. In Washington, the Biden administration, in a bid to deter further hostilities and preserve stability in the region, dispatched the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group to the eastern Mediterranean to bolster its presence alongside the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group already deployed in the vicinity of Israel. This strategic move aimed to send a clear message that the United States was committed to preventing the conflict from escalating further, even as the carriers carried the capacity for both military operations and humanitarian relief. As the world watched this ongoing tragedy, the relentless cycle of violence and suffering in the Middle East served as a stark reminder that the pursuit of peace remained an elusive goal, and the path to resolution was fraught with complexities and challenges. In the midst of geopolitical maneuvering and military posturing, it was the lives of innocent civilians caught in the crossfire that hung in the balance, their hopes and dreams obscured by...
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
By the fog of war.